What's up everyone, TJ19 here, and this is going to be more or less of an update video of the games that I'm going to be getting, and one game in particular, and that is unfortunately The Division. Now, if you are well caught up on my channel, you will of course know that I included The Division on my top 5 most anticipated games of 2016, and unfortunately, about probably 2 months after I made that video, my opinion has completely changed about the game. I mean, I've gone from being 100% assured that, I was 100% going to be getting it, to now I'm probably not going to be getting The Division. And I don't know, and I know some people are probably going to be asking me now, why this sudden transition from, oh, I'm definitely going to be getting the game, one of my most anticipated games of the year, to, oh, I'm probably not going to get it. And there's probably one simple answer to that, and that's the fact that, unfortunately, after playing the open beta of the game, it just feels really, really repetitive to me, and it just doesn't feel like a game that I will personally enjoy. Because if you remember from my review of the beta, I compared basically The Division to Destiny with a Splinter Cell cover system in a post-apocalyptic setting. That is basically it. And upon trying out the game in the beta, and of course the game did release on Tuesday. I did actually play it around my cousin's house on his Xbox One, and just got to say, it was just incredibly boring, to be honest with you. Just walking around the map, shooting AI that are essentially bullet sponges. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's just not my kind of game. It's just not the game that interests me, because I hate Destiny. I find it to be a very incredibly boring game that is a game that I can only find enjoyment in and feel like I've invested the right amount of time in it if I grind it for days, weeks and months on end. And I just don't like that with games. I just like games that when I play naturally, even if I don't play a massive dose of them, at least when I do play them, it feels, I feel as if I've, gained something out of it. There's a positive experience that, makes me remember the game. I will not remember anything that I do in The Division. It will not be a memorable game to me, and that's the thing with Destiny, is the fact that it has so little story and tries to emphasize so much on its gameplay that ultimately the game itself doesn't become memorable. And I feel like The Division is going to be kind of one of them games that defines the question of, do we really need a story in games? Because I know The Division does tell a story, but it's so poorly done from what I have played of it that you barely notice it. The storytelling in the game is absolutely terrible. I mean, it's not very well explained. It isn't the main focus of the game, which I personally don't like. I prefer games that put the narrative first and the gameplay afterwards, because at least with those kind of games, I will at least remember them. They're the big story moments. They will always stick with me. The Division, nothing of this game will stick with me, because there's nothing really that special about it, to be honest with you. I mean, apart from the Dark Zones, which is essentially, of course, the PvP area, there's nothing really special about the game. And also the fact that it's been so heavily downgraded, not just in terms of its graphics, but in terms of also the open world area that you can actually explore from E3 2013. I mean, it just doesn't appeal to me anymore. It's not a game that interests me, and it's such a shame, because when I saw this game at E3 2013, I thought this game was going to blow my mind, because it looked incredible. And E3 2014, the game still looked incredible. And then when I saw it at E3 2015, I started to have some worries about whether the game would even live up to its hype. And that's why I don't want to buy the game, because I know that if I end up buying it, I'll probably think to myself, oh, this could still be a good game. And I'll probably just let myself down, because I'll accept I do put my expectations too high for some games. I mean, that's probably why I see games like Arkham Knight as more of a disappointment than other people, because from the trailers that they were showing us and the gameplay they were showing us, it was looking to be the best Batman game. However, when I played it, I absolutely hated the game, because it was just very boring, repetitive, and had nothing that made it stand up from the other games. And ultimately, I would say that, Arkham Knight ended up being, probably for me, the least enjoyable game in the series. And I feel like the Division, I'm just going to buy the game, and then essentially I'm probably going to play, a bit of it for the first week. I'm going to forget about it, probably. It's going to be the same as I did with Battlefront, because, I mean, I haven't touched Star Wars Battlefront now for about, 2 months? In fact, I'm probably going to end up selling Battlefront either at the end of March or early April, because I just don't play it, because I was invested in the first week, but then it got so gameplay focused but offered so little on variation that I just got bored, and I can't bring myself to go and play that game. And like I said, I'm just worried that that's going to happen with The Division. I mean, of course, if you have played The Division, then of course just let me know in the comment section what you think of the game so far, if you have of course brought the game, or what you experienced from it in the beta, in case you know your opinion seems to be similar to mine, because I'm just worried, really, to be honest with you, because I just don't want, you know, to waste my money on a game that I'm probably not going to enjoy and probably not going to play much of, because I've already done it with, you know, Far Cry 4, because when I brought that game, as soon as I platinumed it within 22 hours, I didn't touch it again. I mean, like I mentioned, Star Wars Battlefront, I barely touched that game since December or early January. I just don't want to be making the same mistakes, and I'm probably just going to save that money to either buy either the Beyond Two Souls and Heavy Rain, you know, dual game pack remaster for the PS4, or probably I might go ahead and buy the Ratchet and Clank game. I'm honestly not too sure, but I probably will not be getting The Division. And I mean, if you have brought The Division, I'm not saying it's going to be a bad game. I mean, you might be the kind of person who enjoys games that where you have to grind, but it's just not that kind of game for me. I'm not the kind of person who enjoys grinding games, and because of that, I'm just not going to be getting The Division. And I'm sorry if I've disappointed anyone who looked at that top 5 most anticipated list and was like, oh man, can't wait to see gameplay of The Division. I'm sorry, but apart from the 4 clips of gameplay of the beta I've got, you're probably not going to be seeing any. But that was it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. I should hopefully be trying to finish off my Metal Gear Solid Snake tribute video this weekend. It's because unfortunately my laptop did break down, and because of that, unfortunately, I haven't been able to edit my thing. Luckily I was able to copy it to a USB, so don't worry, I've still got all the save files for it. I just need to get my laptop back, which should be hopefully tomorrow, and then I will be able to upload it hopefully at the weekend when I finish editing it. And it's also the reason, of course, you haven't been seeing my intro on any of my videos, because unfortunately I forgot, me the dumbass that of course I am, I forgot to copy that onto the USB stick. So unfortunately I'm not able to do that, but hopefully that video should be out by the weekend, and hopefully you will all enjoy it. But with all that being said, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you again